There's been a little change of plans for me, guys. So I had this challenge I kind of set for myself. It just happened on a whim, but I was doing 200 push-ups every even numbered day. So whatever, day it is, if it's an even number, if it's the second or the fourth or the sixth, all the way up to the 30th, I would be doing 200 push-ups that day. And this is just something to, I guess, do to keep the tally counting up and to keep myself consistent, because as I've been doing this challenge, there's been a lot of periods of time that I've just completely stopped doing push-ups, or I've been doing them very inconsistently. And if I ever want to get this done, or at least if I want to get this done in the next decade or two, I've got to be really consistent. And I haven't been. Sometimes I will, but usually I'll fall off, and I want to avoid that. I want to be showing up very often, and I kind of failed that challenge. I mean, this first set of push-ups here was on the 3rd, so already I didn't do any push-ups February 2nd. I kind of just waited until the end of the day, and I figured, what, by the time it was really late, I thought like, hey, it's just not going to happen today. I did a lot of push-ups in January. I say a lot, it was like 3,000 or something. It wasn't anything crazy, but I did a decent amount of push-ups in January. I was consistently doing around 100 a day on average, just because I'm doing 200 every other day. And then it turned to February, and immediately I just stopped. I just stopped doing that thing. So I wanted to try to keep that going the whole year, but it didn't happen. And instead, I decided, okay, so I kind of failed that challenge already, but there's no point in like just throwing away the rest of the year of effort, right? So I decided I'm going to do 400 push ups every third day of the month for February. Because honestly, I got no idea what's going to happen in the future, but there's only 9 third days of the month in February. There's only 28 days of the month. And, I'm doing push ups on the 3rd, the 6th, the 9th, the 12th, the 15th, the 18th, the 21st, the 24th, and the 27th, if all goes to plan. And I'll be doing 400 push ups instead of 200 push ups. So technically, I'm upping the amount of push ups I'm doing. I'm doing them less consistently. Instead of every other day, I'm doing them every third day, but I'm doing 100 push ups more. I guess that's not right. I'm doing 200 push ups more. I'm not going to do the math right now, right? Before I was doing 200 push ups every other day. Now I'm doing 400 push ups every third day. So I think on average it ends up being like, 133 push ups per day, which it's really not that much more. It's only 33 push ups on average more per day. But 400 push ups in one day, boy, oh boy, that's no fun. It just takes a while. It just takes a while. I'm taking about an hour to get these done. I've successfully done it for 3 days so far, so that's good. I'm happy about that. And I just want to be consistent. So, whatever I'm doing, I just want to be consistent with it. I don't care so much that, I failed that little challenge. In fact, I'm going to mention this. I don't know if I'm actually going to do this, but I was just thinking, like, why 200 every other day? Like, what even got in my head there? I was thinking, like, it averages out to about 100 push ups per day, but I don't want to do 100 push ups every day. So I'll just do 200 every other day. And then I started thinking, like, hey, I'm doing 400 push ups every third day now. So what if in March I just do 200 push ups a day and I just double it? And it's kind of ridiculous. Like, my mind just will naturally do this where just don't feel like I'm doing enough. It's just never enough. It's never enough. And with push-ups, it's actually kind of a good thing because the body gets stronger and you adapt. And, I know I could do 200 push-ups a day because I've done more than 200 push-ups a day for a few months last year. But that ended up in me getting injured, and I'm still dealing with that injury kind of. So I don't know what I'm doing. That's what I'm trying to get at. I got no idea what I'm doing at all. I'm trying to be consistent, and it's going all right so far. It's just I don't like this this brain that I'm working with, which is just greedy. Is just greedy for everything. I mean, I had a piece of chocolate like 5 days ago, and I've been thinking about chocolate every single day. I got some cookies, some oatmeal cookies, and some peanut butter in my cupboard. I've been thinking about that so much. Like, I could just eat a ton of cookies just because I had some chocolate. Uh, you know, I don't really like to talk about this, but I used to be a drug addict, and oh my God, thank God I'm not living that life anymore. But while I was, it would always start out slow. I'd always just be doing a little bit. I'd be smoking a little bit of weed, and then I need more, and then I need more, and then I need more, and I'm smoking every day at some point, and then I'm smoking multiple times a day, and it just gets worse and worse and worse. And I used to say I have an addictive personality. I guess that's a pretty good way to put it because I really would just get hooked on that one thing and I wouldn't be able to get myself off it. And I thank God and Jesus Christ, the Son of God, for pulling me out of that life. At the same time, I still see like residual effects of it. I still see how my brain is kind of fried and just wow. Like, do I really need 200 push-ups a day? One part of me is like, I gotta get this challenge done. I gotta get it done. I gotta get it done. At the same time, even if I'm doing 200 push-ups a day, it's gonna take me like 15 years to get the challenge done. Think about that. Even if I'm doing 200 push-ups a day, it's gonna take me 15 years. So it's clearly not a sprint. It's a marathon, and it's actually not even a marathon. It's like an ultra marathon. It's like a 10,000-mile race, or in fact, it's like 100,000-mile race or a million-mile race, or it's more like a million push-ups that I'm doing, because that's exactly what it is. And I just don't know how to cope with it, because thinking about it at all, like thinking about how incredibly immense this number is, just breaks my brain. And I think like, oh yeah, I should just do 1,000 push-ups every day and get it done in 3 years. At the same time, I'm thinking like, that's ridiculous. Even if I tried to do that, that would take up all of my time. It would take up all my training. I don't mean all my time, but that would like, I would probably just stop training my legs for 3 years. And to be fair, I haven't really been training my legs. So, maybe that is the way to go about it and just get the challenge done. But I don't think it is, because for me, what this challenge is really about consistency. Can I continue showing up? And it doesn't have to be a lot. Can I just continue showing up? Because in my life, that's what I've needed. With my struggles, that's exactly what my life has been. I mean, I brought up how I was a drug addict. Um, it applies to so many other areas because you need, let's go back to that analogy. So you need a little bit of willpower, or I'll even say a little bit of grace from God to be able to control yourself, to be able to say, you know what, today I'm not going to pick the drugs. I'm going to be clean. I'm going to handle my own emotions, my own feelings. I'm going to just, whatever I feel, however bad it is, however good it is, I'm going to manage it on my own. I don't need other substances. To do that for one day, it's not actually that hard. It's really not. It's not that hard, but it does take a little bit of effort. It takes a little bit of effort. And if I could apply some other analogies, I was also an alcoholic, which thank God I'm like 3.5 years completely sober. With alcohol, it's so easy. When you have alcohol in the house, it's so easy to just think, oh, I could just have one drink. I know myself, okay? I would never have just one drink. If I'm drinking, I'm really drinking and I'm getting drunk and I might even black out and I might do something I regret. In fact, I'll probably be doing something I regret besides the drinking because I'm going to regret the drinking. I'm probably going to do something I regret besides that as well. And it takes a little bit of effort to not do that. It takes just a little bit. Some days it takes a whole lot, but on average, it takes like 1 to 10 minutes. It takes like 5 minutes of effort to just push those thoughts down, to take those thoughts captive, to bring them to God and say, hey, God, I'm really not happy with, how I'm feeling today. I really need some support. Take these feelings from me. Take it from me because I'm struggling. That takes a little bit of effort to lay that down at God's feet and to say, Jesus, please take care of it. And if you don't do that, you go back to it. And that's what I experienced time and time and time again. I mean, I can't even count the amount of times I relapsed, not just on drugs, not just on alcohol, but also to expose myself further. I've talked about these things before. Pornography and masturbation. This is a real tough one for men to deal with because it's so easy. Like drugs, you have to search them out. You need to know a dealer. Alcohol, you have to be of age. You got to have money. Same thing with drugs. With pornography and masturbation, it's pretty much free, right? You need a phone, but who doesn't have a phone? Who doesn't have a computer? Who doesn't have access to internet? I mean, I don't want to go there really, but there's some freaks going to the public library looking at some dirty websites on the public library computer, right? So if you really want to go look at pornography and masturbate, like, it's free. That, they say there's no such thing as a free lunch. There absolutely is such thing as free pornography, and it's vastly available to whoever wants it. And that could be really, really hard to deal with, especially if you're like me. I got hooked on that stuff when I was really young. Like I fell into that trap really young. I'm talking like 10, 11 years old. I started watching those dirty videos, looking at booby pictures online, searching up boobies on Google, looking at some real nasty stuff. I mean, it got worse and worse and worse. I started watching hardcore stuff, and I'm not going to get too into that right now, but the point is, if you're stuck in that lifestyle, it takes a little bit of effort to not do that because it's so easy to just fall into that habit, especially if you let it become a habit. It's so easy to just see, some girl on Instagram and just get triggered. Or even in public, you see a beautiful woman, you think like, oh my God, I need to have children right now, because that's the male mind is, oh yeah, I am a man and I do need to procreate. That's right. And you just go down this whole rabbit hole of dirty websites, dirty videos, fantasizing. Like, even without that stuff, fantasizing is like a crazy problem. Lusting after women in our hearts, right, guys? So if you want to avoid that, you really do have to bring it in front of God, and you have to say, like, please help me, because I can't do it myself. That's my experience with it, at least. I couldn't deal with these problems by myself. I've made it a few months without looking at dirty websites on my own. I've made it, a few months without using drugs on my own. I've made it a few months without drinking alcohol. But when you give it to God, He really is faithful to actually take it from you, to the point where my desires have even changed. I think about looking at a dirty website and I just feel guilty for even thinking about it. I think about, like, doing drugs, buying weed, pills or whatever, alcohol, and I just feel dirty. I don't feel clean having those thoughts. And I bring it to God. He takes those thoughts captive and he deals with them. He fights that fight for me. And that's, something kind of crazy to say in this world is that God fights that fight for me, but it's the truth in that really when I brought Jesus into my life, or when I guess I let him into my life, he's been really helping me with these issues to the point where it's been months and I haven't looked at a dirty website. I've been completely clean off drugs, pornography, masturbation, smoking, alcohol, all these things I used to struggle with. God has taken them from me, and it really is a miracle for me because I have not been able to do that on my own. All this self-help advice, all the advice in the world never helped me. I couldn't do it by myself. I really needed Jesus to do it. And so for me, that's one amazing thing about my testimony is it doesn't matter what anyone says to me. I've seen how Jesus worked in my life. And so I want to share a little piece of scripture today. This is Galatians chapter 6, verse 9. Let us not become weary in doing good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up. So don't stop, don't give up. Keep pushing through. Keep searching for the truth. Keep seeking, and you will find. This is an amazing thing Jesus tells us in the Sermon on the Mount. Ask, and you shall receive. Seek, and you shall find. Knock, and the door will be opened. To the one who searches for the answer will be found, it will be given. And so don't stop. Don't stop. For me, this training, really, when I say training, I mean this challenge of doing all these push-ups, it's never been about doing 1,000,000. Like, that's the truth of it. It's not been about doing 1,000,000 push-ups. It's about showing up. Because I don't know if I'm going to get to 1,000,000. I might make it halfway and just decide, hey, this isn't for me. I might make it 500,000. Actually, that's halfway. I might make it 10%. I might not even make it to 10%. I don't know if I'm going to live to see tomorrow. I don't know. People go in their sleep all the time. Now, we could get into statistics and like, I'm 26. Am I going to go out in my sleep? Odds are, probably not. Is it possible? Absolutely. Could I get in a car wreck? Absolutely. I got cousins who died younger than me. I got family members. I know people who are gone. They're not in this world anymore. They passed away, much younger than I am. And so this life's a gift. It's not about, the 1,000,000 push-ups. I mean, yeah, that's the title. It is the title. So it is kind of about it. But every single day is a different experience. Every day carries its own problems, its own issues, its own troubles. And we have to deal with these things on a day-to-day basis. Some days, I don't think about pornography and masturbation and dirty websites. I don't think about doing drugs. I don't think about alcohol. I don't think about any of it. And it's super easy. Other days, I can't stop thinking about it. And I'm just drowning. And I need God desperately in both of those days. I need him in both of those days. When I'm doing good, I still need God. Because at a moment's notice, just like that, I know my brain can fall back into that thought of just, you know what? Today's been a good day. I can relax. Today's been a good day. I could reward myself. I could treat myself. I could blah, 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 right? That's not the mentality I need to have. The mentality is, let us not become weary in doing good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up. So do not give up. It's don't stop. It's don't give up. It's keep going through it. Even on the good days, you have to remind yourself sometimes, don't give up. yeah, I kind of messed up this month. I wanted to do 200 push ups every other day. Instead, hopefully, I'm going to do a little more. And that's fine. In a way, I was thinking like this is punishment for, missing out. And that's not a good way to think about it either, because who cares? Like, I don't really care that much that I missed a day of push ups and then, I did double the next day. It's kind of funny, like, double it, give it to the next person, but, I'm the only one here, so I give back to myself. Um, it's just push ups. Like, don't overthink it. It's just showing up for yourself, it's training your body. There is some benefit to physical fitness. And for me, it's been extremely beneficial. Now, it's not done anything that God can't do. In fact, God has done so much more for me. Jesus Christ has done so much more for me. I was a drug addict, for many years while I was training. I was using alcohol for many years. I was addicted to pornography and masturbation for many years. It really is Jesus that helped me out of these things. At the same time, I do have a part to play, and that part is don't stop. Keep showing up. Keep showing up, because let us not become weary in doing good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up. And I'm looking forward to that. I did 1,220 push-ups. Adding that to my 85,347 brings me to 86,567 push-ups. Jesus loves you. Bye-bye.